All right, welcome to the Vault Report, Rhode Island Rams edition. I'm here with former Ram, Yankee Conference champion, Abu Bakr, also 20 years covering the Rams with Cox as an analyst. And today we got Rhode Island assistant Kenny Johnson. I appreciate the time, Kenny. Have you had any time non-basketball related to kind of enjoy your second Rhode Island summer?
I would say we had a little bit of time in August to get down to the beach and to tour around and enjoy the restaurants and hang out a little bit, decompress.
Coach, you've had an opportunity to be working with a brand new roster. I know you've had a great summer from what I'm able to see, but Ram fans certainly don't know what they can expect from this team. So I wonder if you might be able to tell us a little bit about your style of play that you anticipate going into this season and how that might contrast to how that team played last season.
Our staff is really excited about the group we've been able to assemble. These guys have come in and really adapted to the culture that we're trying to establish here within our program. They've bought in. I think the summer has been really good for establishing continuity, and trying to get to know each other, but also more importantly, get to know what Coach Archie expects. And they've embraced it. So I would say the thing that we're most excited about is the competitive nature of the group. I mean, these guys they're physical. They're here for the right reasons. They know that they are part of a building process. They're looking forward to competing and they're going about it the right way. It's day by day.
Awesome. And you mentioned physicality. I feel like size obviously was an issue last year. Obviously, the injury to Bilal did not help. You guys have kind of upgraded size across the board. But just in the front court, I don't know if you can give an update with Bilal, but obviously having Famina, after his red shirt coming on board. I know, Archie in the Almanac, he had mentioned, obviously the freshman Fuchs and, just what you have brought from the front court, what you see in that improvement from last year.
Yeah, definitely. Like you said, we have Famina who had a year, an opportunity to sit out and learn and gotten better. He's working really hard. You return a little bit of experience, although he's a sophomore in Rory. What he's able to bring, his versatility, from the inside out perspective. We've got Tyson Brown, who has come in and has really, really worked. I mean, he's embraced what we've asked. He's a willing learner. He does everything full speed, full effort. You've got David, who has come over and he looks like he's everything but a freshman. Sometimes you forget that he is a freshman, with his broad shoulders and his great demeanor and how hard he works, every single day. Joseph Hat's in the midst of going through his process and doing everything he can to get back, working with the training staff and trying to improve his strength and his stability, as he improves. So we're really excited about the group, long story short. We think that obviously was a glaring need for us to kind of up our level of physicality and our ability to compete on the inside, whether it be on not only with our defensive rebounding, but offensive rebounding in general, the ability to throw the ball into the paint and get 2-point field goals. Something that we tried very hard to address. It's not easy nowadays. Yeah. It's definitely not easy. Very competitive, especially, if you're trying to get older quickly. It's a very competitive market, in that regard. But I think we feel pretty confident that we did a decent job.
Coach, you mentioned the fact, and Nathan mentioned the fact that you've improved your size pretty much up and down the floor. You've got more physicality. You have bigger people on the inside, some of whom have experience, others don't. Like Famina, for example, but everything I've heard, he's a terrific player. So in terms of how you see this team being able to play, fast, slow, inside, outside, will you do some pressing? What's the style of play that you might anticipate that Coach Archie wants to play this year?
I think pretty universally, if you look at a Coach Archie Miller team, first thing you're going to notice is that team is tough. That team plays hard. I think personnel driven. You want to be able to play fast, but you want to be smart with the basketball. A lot of time, I think most teams in the country want to play fast, but you also want to limit your turnovers. So you want to be fast, but not reckless. And I think that's a goal of ours. We're going to play fast. We want to obviously limit our turnovers. We want to be able to share the basketball, get quality shots. I think we have a roster of versatility, and we have a roster where we're going to roll out, 5 guys at a time on the court who are all capable scorers. So I don't believe that you'll be able to just key on one guy or go into the game expecting one guy to automatically lead your team in scoring and night to night. I think we hope to have a roster that has enough versatility that we can be what we want to be, which is the best defensive team, in our conference, but also be able to translate the turnovers we create with sound defense, being a great rebounding team, convert that to transition points, and also have sound fundamental, half-court offense.
Definitely. And you mentioned speed. I look at a guy like House bringing in, and also we mentioned scoring, obviously something that needs to improve. Obviously losing, Leggett, your leading scorer. Obviously there are a lot of points available with, pretty much a brand new team. What has impressed you most just about House? Obviously he was a scorer at high point. Is there anything that has impressed you in terms of what he's able to do and what he will be able to do in a Ram uniform?
Yeah. And, with the, I guess the new advent of the portal, I don't know how many years it's been now, but when you go through the portal process, it's a little bit like speed dating, where you're identifying you're watching the film of the individual, you see the stats, but you want to more importantly see how they score and how they function and what they do, how they may fit into the system and the role that you would want them to be in. And as you do that, it's about interviewing and making sure that there's a personality fit, understanding what that young man is all about. And very quickly, we identified House as the type of person that we want to have in our program. He's somebody who is an everyday person, someone who is working, who wants to get better, somebody who more importantly is coming to the University of Rhode Island in an effort to help the University of Rhode Island men's basketball team win. First and foremost, he's someone who wants to get his degree, and someone who wants to be in an environment that is competitive. And he's done that. So House says he's worked really hard. I mean, he's so strong. He's so physical. He's so downhill. He's a willing defender. He's addressed every day the things that he needs to get better at on the court, skill-wise. And we're just expecting a big year for him. And it's exciting to see the joy that he has, as he comes to the gym every day.
It's great to hear you describe him that way, Coach. Is there any other player, and I'm thinking about our returning players also, who you feel have made maybe the biggest jumps, or that fans will be really excited to see the improvement from players like Weston or Stewart? Of course, Bilal is coming off an injury. He certainly showed that he has great upside, not only to be able to play inside competitively, but he also stretched the floor a little bit. Who are some of the guys, returning that maybe excite you the most, or you feel have made the greatest jumps?
Well, I'll say every day, these guys, a different guy will show up in a unique way. We work on different aspects of what we're trying to get accomplished in our system. And while we introduce competitive drills, you'll see people stepping up in different ways. And you'll say, oh, you kind of, as a coach, you feel a little bit proud of how they're responding to the challenges. So, specifically addressing returners, Roy has definitely had his moments. He had a point in time when he went away this summer, competed with his national team.
Right.
You could tell that benefited him as well. Brandon Weston has been the ultimate team guy. He's worked every single day. You can see the level of maturity. You see his dedication in the weight room. He's always been one to pride himself in what he's going to do academically with us here. But the way he has responded to the level of competition has been encouraging. He's stepped up in his own way and tried to be a leader, whether it be when you have a whole new team, the simplest drills are new to new players. And Brandon's been the type of individual that wants to be first in line to kind of lead the group and show everyone what we're trying to get accomplished. And there's a lot of uncertainty when you have a new group as well. You have projections and then you have performance. So we're in the midst of performance. I'm just proud of how he has embraced the competition and the call to action, to perform.
So in a nutshell, what fans can be excited about is a maturity that some of the transfer players bring, and then some improvement and maturity also from the guys who were just freshmen last year and just had their first opportunity at college ball. So they should be excited about just the overall improvement from this team this year.
Yeah, everyone's pulling in the same direction. Everyone understands the mission. We have great leadership. We have great support staff. Everybody from top to bottom understands the mission. We're here to win basketball games, but we're here to do it the right way. There's no shortcut to sustain success. So it's going to require us day by day working for what we're trying to get accomplished. In our competitive nature, I think is what's going to carry us over early in the process, as we learn exactly what we have, through competition. But there's great desire. There's great desire amongst this group. So I'm excited to see that, take the floor.
And coach, you mentioned versatility. There's a couple guys, and I know even this offseason, you kept putting up those pictures of bricks, and like you said, you can't skip any part of the process. Brick by brick, you guys are building this. Only in year two. A couple guys that kind of jumped out just looking at their tape. Someone like Montgomery, also Green as well, in terms of that versatility that they can provide you. And, a two-part question too. I don't know if you can comment. I don't know if, the waiver process has gone through, if we'll be able to see Green this year. I don't know if you can comment on that. Obviously, if you can't, totally understand. But those two guys, the versatility that they provide to this team and will.
Yeah. First I'll address the waiver process. I feel like that's a personal matter for David. And, I'm not privy to exactly where they're at with the steps with that. But as far as the playing aspect of it, you hit the nail on the head. I think when you look at Zeke Montgomery and David Green, you see what I consider to be prototypical Archie Miller type players. First off, they're tough. First off, they're defensively strong and centered. They have great length and size, versatile, whether you want to call them, big guards or versatile forwards or whatever you want to call them. Dribble, pass, and shoot. They're guys that have shot in college games high percentage from three. They're guys that are offensively versatile. Do you want to switch their screens? Okay, then maybe we can roll them into the post. Do you want to not switch when they set a screen or they're coming off a screen? Then maybe we'll get a wide open jump shot. They have the ability to pull the ball down off of a defensive rebound and attack the offense toward the offensive end. So I just like their versatility, but more importantly, I like their maturity. I like their approach. I think they're the type of people that you sleep well at night if you're a coach, because they're doing things the right way off the court. And they're the type of people that are able to lead younger guys. And they're here for a reason. They want to win. They want to be a part of the winning culture that we're trying to establish.
And Coach, I have one more question about the freshmen who are incoming. Not so much for me. We've actually talked about him, but Cam Estevez and Connor Dupsky. What can we expect from them? And let me just say, as a preface, I know that with freshmen, you can expect to not expect a whole lot, except for them to be inconsistent. But hopefully they can come in and be a part of the program. How do you see them adjusting to college life right now, and how are they adjusting, I think, to the culture and the program that you're trying to build?
Cam and C Dub. I mean, they're doing the best job they can do. They're working hard. They've embraced the culture. Once again, I know that's like a broken record, but I mean, most importantly, that's what they're learning. They're learning what college life is all about, and they have their moments. Each of them individually will have their moments, and they'll have their flashes in the workouts or the practices that we've had thus far. It's a lot of information that's coming at them quick. You know, they both addressed that, but that's what they both talked about it, and that's the best thing about them is they're both highly intelligent people first and foremost off the court. They're two people that probably compete for academic All-Americans as they proceed through their college careers. But they bring exactly what you would expect them to bring. They bring shooting, they bring versatility from the guard position, and they're willing learners. And that's all you can ask for them right now, as you go through your freshman year. And what's the old saying? Abu, the best thing about a freshman is what? They become sophomores. But with all honesty, you're looking at them and you just see the bright future every single day. Every single day you see the bright future, and they definitely baptism by fire. I mean, they're running around guarding House and Zeke and Louis Courtwright and Brandon Weston every single day. And we're full on competition. If you know our head coach, I'm sure you guys have seen our head coach. He's all about competition, and making you better. So,
and the greatest thing about, as you said, about freshmen is they become sophomores. So everyone has to be patient, even though you can see and project how good they're going to be. You just have to be patient and build the steps for them to be able to get there.
That's right. And be ready for the moment. Be ready for the moment. You never know when that moment's going to come. And that's a part of it. That moment could be second one of game one. That moment could be second 50 of game 15. You just be ready for the moment, be able to contribute every single day, obviously through practice and workouts, helping the team be better and just being the best versions of themselves.
Well, listen, Coach, we appreciate the time. I'm looking forward to kind of, periodically touching base with you throughout the season. Your willingness to do that and talk Rhode Island basketball. I know Rhode Island fans are excited for, this next step, second year with Coach Miller and you guys. And we're looking forward to the season to get started. But thank you for the time.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.